And welcome back to part 2 of Hello Kitty and Friends, the magazine makeup, chapters 3 and 4. So, chapter 3, Bramble Thorn Park. Hello Kitty stood with her friends by the gate at the entrance to Bramble Farm Park and looked in. There was a big red tractor off to the side and an arrow pointing straight ahead to show them where they were to go. Hello Kitty peered into the feeding barn where goats and sheep were in pens, surrounded by bales of hay. As the Friendship Club went through the entrance, Mama White told them that it had already been arranged with the owners of the park for Hello Kitty and her friends to be shown around and to make notes for their article. Dear Daniel had even bought his camera, so they would have lots of photos. Mama bought each of them a little brown bag so they could feed the animals. They were full of little green pellets and didn't look all that tasty, but the animals must like them. Once inside, a guide came over to show them around. Mama White would meet them again by the exit at the end. Hello Kitty couldn't wait to get started. The guide led them around the farm, pointing out all of the different farm animals that were there and explaining that they were adding to the animals all the time. First they came to the pigs. Dear Daniel especially liked the pot-belly ones. They were small and black and very sweet. The guide said they could feed them, but they had to hold their hands out flat. Hello Kitty giggled as they snuffled over the green pellets in one quick mouthful and made little grunting noises. They would be seeing the pigs again later at the pig races. How exciting! Tammy loved the smaller petting corner, where children were allowed to stroke bunnies and guinea pigs. Then they came on to the goats and sheep. Fifi really liked the miniature donkeys. Donkeys there with them. They had such big fluffy ears and large dark eyes. Hello Kitty loved every minute of it. Her pencil was flying across the page as she took notes. There was so much to write down. It would all make for a brilliant article. The guide led them on and told them that over in the trees there were two more unusual animals which were new to the farm. Hello Kitty could see by the number of people crowded round them that they must be pretty special. It was darker over in the trees, but she could just make out two little pairs of eyes. Ooh, she let out a little gasp. Inside was the sweetest pair of reindeer. Their guide explained that it was unusual to see reindeer in this country, so it really was extra special. All too soon the tour came to an end and they were out in the farmyard. There was a duck pond to one side where a mother duck was swimming with her ducklings. On the other side, the red tractor was given rides around the farm park to see the bull and donkeys and ponies in the field. There was also a playground with tyres and swings and slides, but luckily they were just in time for the pig race. Their guide pointed out over to an open green shed with a padlock and a little track in it too, suggested they go to watch. Hello Kitty and her friends raced over. They didn't want to miss the race. They sat down on the grass. Hello Kitty looked out at the names on each of the pigs' doors: Squeaker, Pinky, Rocky, and Tiny. Tiny was the littlest one. Hello Kitty decided that she wanted him to win, and each of the others chose a pig too. The next thing they knew, the doors opened and the pigs came charging out of the shed and went racing down the track. It was all over very quickly, with Rocky diving snoot first into the trough of food that was waiting at the end. They all clapped and dear Daniel cheered as he took lots of photos. He had picked Rocky to win. Hello Kitty grinned. It had been so funny watching the pigs snort and squeal their way down the track. She turned to her friends. There was just enough time for them to have a play in the playground before they met Mama White by the exit to take them home. Hello Kitty made a couple of more notes in her notebook as the others ran to the playground. Tammy jumped on the monkey bars, dear Daniel slid down the slide, and Fifi got to a swing. Hello Kitty shut her notebook. She wanted to type everything up when she got home, but right now she wanted to join in the fun. Chapter 4. Busy, busy, busy. Hello Kitty stared at the computer screen and sighed. It was the next day, Sunday, and the Friendship Club had met up to start putting everything together for the magazine. They were going to work on the farm park article first. Hello Kitty was typing it up. Dear Daniel was printing off the photos he had taken, and Fifi was finishing some animal doodles she had drawn to decorate it. Then she was going to help dear Daniel choose the best photos. There wasn't anything else to do for the article, so Tammy was making a start on her puzzle and poetry page. Hello Kitty had the most to do. She was typing up the article on the park, and then she still had to do the article on the jeans and the hair treatment too. Dear Daniel, Fifi, and Tammy were working busily. Hello Kitty read the 3 lines she had. So far, typing felt like really hard work, even with some of Mama's homemade cookies to keep her going. At that moment, the doorbell rang. It was Fifi's mother who had come to collect her. She had ice skating practice, which reminded Tammy that she had a music lesson to get to as well. Fifi hadn't quite finished picking all of the farm photos for the article, so Hello Kitty and dear Daniel would have to do it, but it couldn't be helped. Hello Kitty waved goodbye to Tammy and Fifi and quickly got back down to work again. She had just finished typing up the article when dear Daniel stood up. He went a little pink as he spoke, but he explained that he had to go to football practice as well. He didn't want to leave Hello Kitty doing everything on her own, but there would be plenty of time in the week for them to all finish it, wouldn't there? Hello Kitty took a deep breath and smiled and said, "Okay." If he had to go, he had to go. She could do it on her own. All the same, she couldn't help but wish the others were still there. The Friendship Club was supposed to be doing the magazine together, and now she was going to be the only one left. As the door closed behind dear Daniel, Hello Kitty let out a little sigh. Making the magazine wasn't as much fun as she'd hoped. The fun bit had been coming up with the ideas and then being at the farm park. Putting it together and doing all the typing wasn't very exciting at all. Oh well, she reminded herself that it would all be worth it when it was finished and they had a brilliant magazine to show for it. Hello Kitty looked at the photos and tried to work out which one should go in the article. She wished her friends were there so she could ask what they thought, though. After another hour, Mama White came in and said she thought Hello Kitty needed a break. She had been working so hard. Why didn't she just print off what she had done and take it in to show the others the next day? Hello Kitty nodded. She knew Mama was right. She would just finish this bit and then she was done. The next morning at school, Hello Kitty proudly spread the article out on the table. She had stuck all the photos in place and put the heading that Fifi had designed across the top. It was looking really good. The others were very impressed. They all felt sorry for leaving her and gave her a big group hug. To thank her for doing it on her own, they promised that they wouldn't get on. They promised they wouldn't get on with their articles at lunchtime so that they were ready for that afternoon. Hello Kitty blushed. She was very excited about seeing their articles, and it was going to be so much fun putting them all together. She couldn't wait to see what the finished magazine was going to look like.